Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Meuthia Khansa from 5BD class in research methodology, developing hypothesis and title for your experiment. I would like to tell you about hypothesis. First, we should know about the definition from hypothesis. Hypothesis is a precise, traceable statement of what the researchers predict will be the outcome of the study. And this usually involves proposing a possible relationship between two variables. First, the independent variables, what the researcher changes, and the second is the dependent variable, what the researchers measures. And next is function of hypothesis. First, hypothesis helps in making an observation and experiments possible. And the second is it becomes the start point for the investigation. Hypothesis helps in verifying the observations. And for the last, it helps in directing the inquiries in the right directions. And this is the characteristic from hypothesis. First, the hypothesis should be clear and precise to consider it to be reliable. Second, if the hypothesis is a relational hypothesis, then it should be stating the relationship between variables. Third, the hypothesis must be specific and should have scope for conducting more tests. And the last is the way of explanation of the hypothesis must be very simple, and it should also be understood that the simplicity of the hypothesis is not related to its significance. And this is the types of hypothesis. So hypotheses have six types. First is simple hypothesis. First, it shows a relationship between one dependent variable and a single independent variable. For example, if you eat more vegetables, you will lose weight faster. In here, eating more vegetable is an independent variable, while losing weight is the dependent variable. And the second is complex hypothesis. A complex hypothesis, it shows the relationship between two or more dependent variables and two or more independent variables. For example, eating more vegetables and fruits leads to weight loss. Glowing skin reduces the risk of many diseases such as heart disease, high blood pressure, and some cancers. And the third is directional hypothesis. In directional hypothesis, it can show how a researcher is intellectual and committed to a particular outcome. The relationship between the variables can also predict its nature. For example, children aged 4 years eating proper food over a 5-year period are having higher IQ levels than children not having a proper meal. So they show the effect and direction of effect. And this is the next types. Fourth, non-directional hypothesis. It is used when there is no theory involved. It is a statement that a relationship exists between two variables without predicting the exact nature of the relationship. And the fifth is null hypothesis. In null hypothesis provides the statement which is contrary to the hypothesis. So it's a negative statement and there is no relationship between independent and dependent variables. And usually the symbol is denoted by HO, the capital of HO. And the last is associative and causal hypothesis. Associative hypothesis occurs when there is a change in one variable resulting in a change in the other variable, whereas causal hypothesis proposes a cause and effect interaction between two or more variables. And the last is this the step for us to making hypothesis. First, we can collect as many observations about a topic or problem as we can. And the second is we can evaluate this observation and look for possible causes of the problem. And the third, we can create a list of possible explanation that you might want to explore. And the last is after we have developed some possible hypotheses, we can think of ways that we could confirm or disprove each hypothesis through experimentation. And this is also known as falsifiability. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.